Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone listening around the world, it's time for your favorite podcast, Juice Box Hero.
Yo, what's up, everybody? You are listening to the Juice Box Hero podcast. Thank you, as always, for joining. I'm here with our guy, Bryles. We all know and love the Dubon leader of the fan club. He especially loves him tonight. He has had some fantastic descriptors on his attire. But y'all know and love him as Chris. So what's up, fellas? How we doing this evening?
Dude, man, man, I really have nothing, I really don't. Fantastic series against Angels. And then, sometimes like a part of me wanted to get all upset and lose my mind. But man, sometimes you just go up against, a fantastic pitcher, and I think that's what happened, against Dylan Cease. And again, there's a reason why the Padres are in playoff contention. You ran into good pitching. Good pitching 9 times out of 10 always beats good hitting. So I'm not even upset at, losing to the Padres. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
So what about you, Bryles?
Yeah, I can't complain too much. I'm kind of in the same boat. It was nice to watch him go into Anaheim and get the sweep, and then after that, going to San Diego. But the one thing I know that we're going to get into here when we break down that San Diego series is, honestly, it felt almost like playoff, like an atmosphere, especially if you were watching the game that was on TNT that went to extra innings. It was rocking in there for sure. So, but anyway, we'll get into all that later tonight, and I'm sure we'll get into Dubon's beautiful, sparkly golden belt, and just kind of go from there.
Yeah, I didn't realize that 2 out of those 3 games were actually on cable national television. They were on FS1, I think, one night.
Yep.
Yeah, one night was FS1, and the next night was TBS or something like that. I actually watched one of the national broadcasts just to see what they say, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put it back on Blummer and listen to those guys. But I think overall, our pitching was actually pretty good. Our starting pitching was actually pretty good. The bats just went to sleep again. But Braz, I agree. It was kind of like a playoff feel. One of Machado's home runs, you almost wish he would have been given the walk on his 3-2 pitch. I don't know if y'all watched the whole game, but it was a 3-2 pitch. And it was up and away, and it was 3-1. They called it a strike. You'd almost want that to go ahead and just put his ass on base because, he crushed the next pitch. So, and then you had Caleb Ort. What was it, yesterday? Yesterday? Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah, that was yesterday.
And I had been watching the game, and I text y'all later and told you it was my bad, it's my fault, because I've been watching the game on my phone, just kind of checking in, and then when I actually put it on the TV, I saw the first 2 home runs, and I was like, you know what, I got to turn this off, because clearly it's my bad mojo, and then that wasn't the thing, since they hit the third one. So, but dude, San Diego, they got a good team, man. I've always liked them out in the West because I hate the Dodgers. So I want San Diego to win solely for that. But this series is probably the first time I really watched them. And that Jackson Merrill kid, dude, he's stupid good.
Stud.
Yeah.
Stud.
I think 21. I think he's 21 or something, 21, 22.
Yeah.
He's young. Yeah. So, but overall, like I said, man, you would have liked to have taken more than one game, the getaway game. No, it was the middle game that we won, right?
Yeah, Tuesday night, extra innings.
But hey, right now our focus is winning the division. Yes, you would have preferred to gone, 2 out of 3, swept them. But I think Seattle was playing New York during that time. So New York, I think, took 2 out of 3 against them. Pretty good video of Julio Rodriguez brain farting at third base. When he was in the extra innings against them. Have y'all seen that one?
Yep.
No, I didn't see it.
So Rodriguez is at third. I think they're down. They're down a run, I think, but it's runners on first and third, 1 out. Rosenrain at the plate. He swings he strikes out on a low and away. But as he does it, the bat flies all the way down the third base line. So Rodriguez jumps out of the way. and his cocky ass is kind of, gets out of the way and kind of jogs around the base coach. Well, then the catcher just straight to Chaz Chisholm doubles him up. Mariners lose the game, and so yeah. So look, man, it was a good little series. I mean, I think the pitching was doing really well. But we have Anaheim tonight. I mean, right now it's bottom 8, runners on first and second, tied, and the score's tied at 1. So, we got to handle the A's because look, the Mariners come in town next week, and we can wrap this thing up with those guys in town, and that would be badass.
Yeah, I mean, and I know I said that, it is what it is with the Padres. I mean, but you, as much as you were hoping history would repeat itself with Darvish's stuff looked really good. Michael King wasn't no slouch either. I mean, they've got a good rotation. The positive to take away from losing that series 2-1 is that you were in every single game. There was not one game where it was 7-1 and, you got runs during garbage time. I mean, so, they proved why they have a solid team and they're a playoff contender. I mean, it is what it is at that point. I mean, so.
Well, even the 4-0 loss, so you were 1-0. You're 1-0. Fromber pitched that game.
Yeah, he pitched 7,
right?
And so, 7 innings.
And that's the other thing too. And I don't mean to cut you off, Chris, but
no, you're good.
That's the other thing too is that you piss away again another quality start from your starter, and so Farmer gets taken out, and so you're 3 pitches away from still being down 1-0, right? Because your offense can't do anything. So sorry, I looked at the game. They did a double play, runners first and third, 1 out. Okay. But anyways, yeah, I probably should turn it off because I keep looking down to look at the game instead. Yeah. But not supposed to agree, Chris.
Oh, whatever.
You probably should, dickhead.
I mean, do we ever really have our shit together on any one of these episodes? No. I mean,
look, man, I'm just happy that, and now that I'm going to say this, it's probably going to happen. But it's been a minute since either one of us have knocked over our mic. Or
that's true.
Mainly
because I'm sitting a good distance away from my mic.
If y'all can see I was just saying, if y'all can see the distance between my mic and me, I'm fairly far back for that reason. So,
yeah, but yeah, I mean, exactly what you said. We got a big series coming up. Your goal against the Angels, and this is really bare minimum, right? Your bare minimum goal is to maintain a 5-game lead going into that series with Seattle, right? I mean, perfect world. I mean, this is a team that, again, on paper, but baseball is baseball is baseball. On paper means jack shit most of the time. But if you look at this team, you just swept them, not even a week ago. You'd like to take it's a 4-game series, right?
It's so 4 games,
you'd like to take, perfect world, you take 3 games, right? So, again, bottom of the line, you'd like to maintain a 5-game lead going into that Seattle series. And, of course, perfect world, butterflies, unicorns. You have that 5-game lead. Game 1, you beat Seattle, and then it's over. And then 6-game lead with 5 games left. But, yeah, again, the offense, in that Padres series, I'd like to chalk it up to, the Padres pitching staff. Hell, Cease had a no-hitter going, to the 8th or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
So – it sucks. You'd like to, hopefully see that order, the batting order do its thing. But, sometimes, like I said earlier, good pitching usually beats good hitting, So, again, I'm not pulling out my hair because they lost that series in San Diego. Every single game was competitive, so it wasn't like they came in here and just donkey stomped us. So, it is what it is. What you got, Bros?
Yeah, no, I would agree. I'm not too terribly upset about that San Diego series either. It's the Monday game was a little bit of a rough loss. But both teams were playing very well. It was a good pitching matchup. You saw some really good baseball, and we just didn't come out on the right end of it. The Tuesday game, that was the one I was pretty much referring to as that playoff feel. And I watched the broadcast on TNT. And I mean, they had a lot of crowd noise pumped in. I mean, they had everything going, and it literally felt like you're in the middle of like a divisional series, maybe even an ALCS, or I mean, I know we're playing a National League team, so maybe even a World Series game. But they had it cranked up. That was a fun game to watch. And fortunately, on that one, we came out on the right side of it. And then let's talk about Wednesday real quick because I got some crow to eat. Last week on the podcast, I was singing the praises of Mr. Ort, and he let me down for sure. You're right. Fromber pitched an absolute gem, and then Ort came in, and bad luck, baseball, whatever you want to call it, because he had been just lights out before that. All of a sudden, back to back to back, all of a sudden, yeah, it's over after that. But to the point that both of you guys have been talking about, our offense has been sputtering. And I understand that in San Diego, we've seen that good pitching, but it's not like we were exactly dominating when we were in Anaheim either. I mean, we were beating Anaheim because we're a much better team than they are, but our offense right now is just not firing on all cylinders. And it doesn't matter if we're having a bad night from Bregman or Altuve or Pena or whoever, Diaz. I mean, Alvarez, these guys just for some reason can't seem to put it all together all at the same time. So I'm hoping that this is just a little bit of whatever you want to call it, rust, a little bit of warm up going into the playoffs, a little bit of just nerves, jitters, whatever. And Houston always seems to be able to put it together like when we actually get to playoff contention. So I'm hoping that's what happens moving forward. But I'm not going to lie, I'm a little concerned about it.
Well, I mean, hopefully it's just the offensive woes. They get all that crap. They get all that crap out now. So, and to your point about Caleb Ort, man, at least he was consistent. Home run, home run, home run. So.
Right.
Quick update for the listeners. Singleton Oppo double plates 2.
3-1. There you go.
Take it.
And I think Seattle won today too. So
they did win 3-2. So 4.5 coming in. Pick this. It'd be nice to pick this game up and go back up 5. Because I don't know who they have this weekend. I don't really.
They just finished the Yankees.
Yes, they just finished.
I know they have a series against the Rangers coming up. I don't know if it's this series now or if it's the next one.
I think it's the weekend series is where they play the Rangers.
Okay. So
this weekend?
This weekend they're going to be in Dallas, and then they're coming to us after that. Coming
to here. Nice. Dude, Singleton I love the guy, right? I really do. Like it's been a bright spot. I mean, he's been the most consistent one we've had down there at first. But he bat flips on any fair contact that he has. I think it's great.
I've seen a bat flip on foul contact.
I would like to see a bat flip on a walk. That would be awesome.
That would be. We should find him on Twitter and I ask him to do it. He won't. Browse it. You saw the group text when I told you I'd reached out to somebody on Twitter about coming on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy see that 6'10", right?
Yeah, still haven't heard anything.
Still crickets? Yeah.
Still crickets. I just grew some balls that day and asked, and then instantly I'm like, this is why I don't do this. This is exactly why I don't do this.
But hey, a wise man once said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
I mean, that's true. That's true.
Wise man also said that 610 radio only talks about the Houston Texans.
Well, most of the time, yes. I mean, but I don't like 790, so I don't care for 790.
Yeah, 790 used to be good.
Fair enough.
I don't know. I used to listen to Charlie Palillo all the time when he was on.
I did too. Yeah, I listened.
That was my favorite. That was my favorite one.
And then they replaced him with Josh Ennis, and I like Josh Ennis.
But Ennis is good though.
Like, be cracking up, dude.
So, but when Ennis was at 6'10" with Rich Lord, those two, like Rich Lord's older, right? He's older than all three of us, and Ennis is I guess our age. And Ennis and him would argue on the show. It was fantastic. It was fantastic. Then he left. So
yeah.
Anyways,
I remember him being at the Super Bowl like media thing, and them getting kicked out because he almost got into
yeah,
a fight with Seth Payne,
yeah,
and he had one guy
On
rolling
Radio
around
Row,
in
yeah.
he had one guy walking around in an Assweiler trash can over his clothes.
Oh,
Oh
Josh
man,
Ennis.
yeah. I mean, so
Okay,
yeah.
real
Go
quick.
ahead. We went off the rails again.
We did. It's okay. Predictions from last week. So,
What did we do?
Did y'all remember what y'all did?
I
Did you
don't
have it written
remember
down?
what series I gave
Well, I
what.
wrote down mine, but do y'all remember y'all's?
I think I went 3-3. I think that sounds about right.
I think me and Bryles went 4-2. I think that was the
Yep.
prediction. But then I also had a tiebreaker just in case. So I did take. I didn't have a sweep of the Angels. I had 2 out of 3. Right, and then the Padres. I had us 2 out of 3. Right. So all in all, I think it worked out. Right, if I did my math right.
Yeah, I
Yes,
think
it did.
2-1, 2-1. Yeah, so 4-2.
Right. Well, I know that one, but I meant like
Well, but we actually did
but-
go 4-2, is what he's saying. Yes.
yeah. So my tiebreaker was that the Angels. I said that the JV was going to lose, but we didn't, obviously. And then for the Padres,
I was speaking of JV. I will get into this. Go
Okay.
ahead, finish your thing.
no, just so and for the Padres, since I had us going 2 out of 3, I had Arrighetti as the loss, but you know,
And I will say this: JV looked a lot better. However, that dude needs to take Jake Myers, Ben Gamble, and whoever the other outfielder was that probably saved him about 6 runs. Because it would have been another terrible start if they didn't make those fantastic defensive plays out in the outfield. So that's it. That's what I have to say about JV.
Ben Gamble's still on the now he's on the IL because of that game. I mean, you remember him running into the wall, like those guys were making catches like you wouldn't believe. Like,
dude, they saved his ass that start.
yeah, like JV was buying him Rolexes after the game or something like that.
Yeah, he needed to.
So but it's that game was one of the best defensive games we have played in a really, really, really long time. But I mean, still, we've got the concerns with JV. So it's like, what are we going to end up doing when we get to the playoffs? We've talked about this 3 weeks in a row now. I mean, ever since he's come off the IL.
I mean, I think we could give our takes until we're blue in the face, and I think we all know the end result. What the end result's going to be, and it's going to be he's going to get the ball game too.
But you can't just have an automatic like, hey, let me spot you 3 runs because JV's still got some rust to knock off. And
I understand that. I mean, but they're going to give him the ball because he's JV, and he's JV. I totally get it. I'm with you guys 199%. Like I would tell JV, you're our bulldog out of the bullpen, and I would give the ball to Fromber, Hunter Brown, and either Blanco or Kikuchi. One of the two. That's
dude, I almost said Arrighetti because I keep forgetting about Kikuchi. Like I seriously do.
I mean, and I would think, or any of those combos, I think all 3 of us would be more than happy with. But you and I know that Dana Brown knows that we know that JV's getting the ball game too, and it is what it is.
This is such a mistake. It's such a mistake.
I agree with you guys 1,000%. However, all I'm saying is prepare to be disappointed when JV gets the ball game too.
You know, and think about how crazy that is. We're actually talking about how we don't want Justin Verlander in our top 3 in a playoff rotation.
Well, I mean, to be fair, again, going back to his last handful of playoff starts, it's not like this guy's Kurt Schilling in the playoffs, right? It's not like this, I'm just being honest with. I mean, he barely won his first World Series game in 8, 9 starts. And then if you look at game 1 of that Phillies series, I mean, he got hammered by the Phillies in game 1.
Yeah.
And then I want to say that Rangers beat him up too the few games that he pitched in the ALCS last year. I mean, so again, it's like it'd be one thing if like JV, you know, he could be counted on like Kurt Schilling could be, you know, just nails in the postseason. You score 2 runs on this guy, then it's a fantastic day. But again, I mean, like on the flip side, on the real side, you know, I get JV's his future Hall of Famer, you know, blah, 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 blah. I mean, but again, it's not like he has this fantastic record in the postseason. So I don't think it's that just much of a disservice to say I don't think he should be in the starting rotation. That's just me.
I mean, it is disservice, but the thing is we could do a whole episode on this, the whole thing, right? Because we did a lot of it last week, and it's still a hot topic this week.
Oh, it's going to be
because
it's going to be the same thing going into the playoffs. I mean,
it's the one side of the coin. You're JV, right? You get the benefit of the doubt, right? That's
absolutely
earned it. He's earned it. And the other side is, well, hey man, you got a 7.99 ERA in your last 7 games, and you're 1-4.
Yeah,
like you're not helping.
I get it. I mean,
well, you know, and so it's. I'm glad I get to sit on TV. I'm glad I get to sit on my couch.
That'd be cool if
and
we got
watch.
to sit on TV.
It would be badass. What? But I get to sit on my couch and I get to complain about it and get on this podcast with y'all and complain about it. Unlike having to actually face the guy and tell him, "Hey, man, cool story that you're a future Hall of Famer, but you're a long relief guy for the playoffs."
Well, the good thing is that no one's going to have to face him face to face because it's not going to happen.
No, I know.
No, it's not going to happen. But I mean, if you think about it, where he's been getting in trouble though is in the first 2 innings, right? So, I mean, if we could actually, and I know I've said this word 100 times in the last 2 podcasts, but if we could piggyback and actually get somebody like Arrighetti to go in and say, pitch the first 3 innings, and then have Verlander take us from inning 4 all the way through 8 or 7, and then go to the bullpen after that, I think that'd be the perfect world that we could actually use him in, and to the point where he's going to feel confident about pitching too. I mean, the one thing is if you end up taking him out of his regular rotation or his regular days pitched, we all know this, he's going to end up just freaking out and then not being able to pitch successfully, or even, to a point where we're hoping that we're going to get something out of him. So Chris, PK, there's no good answer. That's all I can say.
There's not. I don't think there is.
The only question I would ask is it just a issue with innings 1 and 2, or is it an issue with his first 2 innings? So that's the question. Is it
we don't know
of inning 1,
right?
You don't know that, or is it going to be he comes in this hypothetical scenario in the 4th and 5th inning, and that's and he struggles.
Well,
right now it's innings 1 and 2 because that's all he gets.
Correct.
But if you think about 1 and 2 as well, they're trying to sabotage and hit his fastballs. They're guessing on it. They know he's going to throw gas right down the middle. And I think they're kind of jumping out on that. And you're starting at, the leadoff hitter, obviously. So if you put him in, inning 4, you have no idea where in the lineup he's going to be starting. So, I mean, trying to sabotage somebody at that point is kind of hard to do.
There's just no way on this fucking earth that he comes out of the bullpen.
I agree. Yeah. I think it's the most logical thing, but I totally agree. I don't think it'll ever happen.
At Game 7, maybe like Clemens did back in 05 or 04.
Yeah, that was 2 days rest, right?
Yeah, but maybe something like that, and you pitch 1 inning, and you have everyone's available type of deal. That's probably it.
Yeah, I mean,
that's probably
do or die.
I agree.
Do or die.
Yeah,
all hands on deck.
That'd be it. Yeah. That'd be the only situation. Because I think and we'll move on from this because we talked about it a lot last time. But it goes back to all these ball players or professional athletes as a whole. I would assume, at least what they say on TV, they're creatures of habit. So you talk about you want to change this guy's routine and habit come postseason when every pitch the importance is heightened. I don't think so.
Well, something needs to change. Because
I mean,
the stats are there to show that whatever he's doing ain't working.
No, You're right.
But I will say this: like after watching, Jake Myers make that play, I watched it and I watched him come up to hit, and it just blew my mind. I'm like, this asshole's already back down. His batting average is 229. It's like I thought he was cruising at like 240 or something. I was willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. And it just goes to highlight your outfielders right now. Well, I mean, Ben Gamble's pretty much, I don't even know if he's going to come back.
They're saying he's coming back possibly for the postseason.
Okay.
What did he do?
He fractured. I think he fractured something in his leg when he made that sliding catch and ran into the wall.
Yeah.
Well, Dubon did the same thing, and he didn't break anything.
He had the golden belt on. That's why.
I was going to say something. Maybe it's the belt. So.
Sorry, man. Totally took your train of thought away.
No, you're good. No, you're good. I probably got canceled. So
yeah, he had to be. He was not going to be PC on that one.
Yeah, and then it's just like you look at this outfield. As awesome as Hayward's been playing, he just got his average up to 214. So you have a guy that's hitting 214, a guy that's hitting 229. Your best offensive outfielder that's not named Kyle Tucker is out for the regular season now. And then, then you have who's the other guy? Chas McCormick. Another guy barely hitting over 200. And again, I don't want to get too ahead of myself. There's going to be plenty to talk about this offseason. As far as, we just talked about how we could go every single week, about JV. Well, there's going to be a handful of stuff that we're going to be able to do every single podcast during the offseason until something happens. That's going to be almost sounding like beating the dead horse or, a broken record. But it's just man, it hit me. I'm like, man, these outfielders fucking suck.
They suck.
God, they're
suck. Not good.
I've been impressed by Hayward. I know that, and don't get me wrong. Yes, our entire outfield crew has sucked. And don't get me wrong. I have made fun of the Cardinals. I've made fun of the Dodgers. I've made fun of the Cubs. Anybody that was paying Jason Hayward, I'm like, you guys are a bunch of suckers. But we're paying him nothing, and to be honest with you, he hasn't been that bad. You just pointed out he's got a 214 batting average. I get it. He's not exactly hitting tanks, but he's been in, and he's been doing better than what we've had. And I know that is super sad to say, but it's true. And the same thing with Ben Gamble. That dude was doing awesome. And how long have we had him? 6 weeks? Maybe?
I don't even think it's been that long.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I always thought with the Jason Hayward, even when he was with the Braves, I'm not going to say, I just thought he was always kind of overrated for what the pomp that he got, the pump that he got coming up, because he's always been defensive, like a defensive stud, always, right? He's always been.
In his heyday.
Hey, hit him with.
Where are you, Andrew?
God. Jeez. No.
Okay. Well,
there it is. There it is.
He was good for a good 260, 270, 285 batting average. I
didn't say it was garbage. I just thought it was.
What I'm saying is that and again, I'm not 100% sure that 214 or 213 batting average is that combined with what he did with the Dodgers, or is that just are they shown the stats for what he's done since he's been here? With
he was 208 with the Dodgers. Okay,
so maybe he's
hitting better than 208 with us.
Okay,
to get up to 213.
That puts him better than Chas McCormick. And honestly, if Hayward came up with runners on first and third and 1 out or 2 outs, I'd have more faith in him to do something than I would Jake Myers.
I'm not going to argue with that by any means. Jake Myers does not look good lately, man. Not at all.
Well, Jake Myers swings at the first pitch from the minute he puts his foot in the box, he starts swinging.
Then
he runs into one.
He's just not good. I've been tooting this horn. This is the second highest horn I've been tooting since outside of Dubon, which now has just become a joke. But like I've been saying since day
No,
one.
there's affection there. I can feel it.
No, there's
You
not.
love him.
There's
You
not.
love him.
I don't.
You do.
I don't. Not him and his made up Gold Glove trophy either.
It's not made up.
They had to make
it was
it up.
awarded.
They had to make it up
It was awarded by the
because
Major League
if
Baseball.
he was a real Gold Glove, he would have won.
It turned into a belt
or second base. Now he wears it like a WWE Championship belt.
It just goes to show that he can play anywhere and still that much more efficient than these other guys focus on one position. Chris, this guy.
You want to know why?
Multiple,
you want to know why he doesn't play one position?
We're not going to talk about the negative.
Okay,
we're just going to
say. You're getting me sidetracked. Now I don't even know what I'm talking about. I forgot.
And for all of you that are listening out there that weren't on the pregame, we were really hoping that gold belt had a gold lion head belt buckle to go with it.
It's like I don't know how we got cowboy boot cleats, but somehow he did.
That would be amazing.
That would actually be pretty cool.
And he would wear them. I guarantee he'd wear them.
Yeah, he would wear them.
Oh man!
But look, going back to Hayward, look, I think what just to tie all that in is, and even go back to what Bryles was saying, what we've gotten from Hayward has been probably as expected. You're not expecting him to come in here.
It's a little bit more than what we expected. I mean, every single one of these guys we brought in, Ben Gamble, Jason Hayward, you're hoping that these guys will contribute something.
You're looking for lightning in a bottle.
Yeah,
exactly. They get on a little hot streak at the right time.
But more than likely, you're like, okay, we're going to give this guy a certain amount of at-bats. And really the expectation out of bringing Jason Hayward is worst case scenario, we'll DFA him in 2 weeks. Yeah. And the fact that, and it could just be the fact that, there's nobody else. I mean, but apparently they would rather roll with him over Pedro Leon. So.
Well, maybe because Hayward's proven.
Well, I mean,
that's where I was going to go. And Leon came up. I mean, he had his shot. I mean, how many games did we end up giving him? Like probably 25 and a half.
He probably had about, I would say, 30-something, maybe 40-something at bats. I mean, but it wasn't like he came up and he was an everyday, center fielder. He came up and he sat for the first 3 games. Like they basically gave him the Loperfido treatment the second time they called up Loperfido.
Just minus the trading away.
Yeah, just right. Minus them trading them. So, I mean, and again, I'm not saying that if Pedro Leon got every day at bats, he'd be, getting his bobblehead like, Ohtani. They've already christened he's getting a bobblehead, but
oh, thank God.
Yeah.
His dog got a fucking bobblehead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I know. I'm saying, yeah. I'm just trying to.
No, I know. I know it's trying to. I see the gears turning. I see it.
How do I say this without us not getting?
It's really, it's really difficult. Like very difficult.
But no, Leon was not ready, man. I think that's the whole thing. He did get a shot, and I mean, don't get me wrong, he's played absolutely awesome in the minors, but when he came up, he didn't prove himself. So I think that Dana Brown, and I'm just assuming here, and the rest of the mindset up there was like, hey, look, we got to get some guys that are proven that can play some outfield. So. I mean, Ben Gamble, they caught lightning in a bottle. I mean, he wasn't on any of our radars. I mean, he wasn't on mine. I mean, we never talked about it. None of the 3 of us did. And then all of a sudden he showed up, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that guy. It's like, didn't he play for Seattle at one point? And then it's like, okay, now where'd he go?
The first thing that popped in my head, I was like, pretty sure that guy played for Seattle. I mean, but I will say this. I don't think the notion of Pedro Leon wasn't ready or that he was rushed I don't agree with that. I mean, the guy's been in AAA since 2004, It's just that he just couldn't get his game together. And again, too, and it goes to, listen, I love Pedro Leon. I loved Will Wagner. I was a big fan. I hyped up Joey Loperfido when we were doing spring training episodes. But these guys, at the end of the day, they're just guys. I mean, this isn't Jackson Holiday. This isn't, Pedro Leon's not, Dylan Cruz, or Jackson Merrill, who, he's just a guy, which is I think he was like our 20-something prospect. So he's a guy.
Our 20th.
Our. We have the worst prospect. We have the
Yeah.
worst minor league system in the majors. It was one of those things that can we call him up and catch lightning in a bottle like we did with Loperfido? And and we'll get into this, but like I've read 2 or 3 articles now that are now saying they're reversing what they were saying back after the trade deadline. Now they're saying, did the Astros fleece the Blue Jays with that trade for Kikuchi? Because now you have I forgot. I stopped paying attention to what Loperfido was doing, but you had Wagner get off to that super hot start. Then he's been 1 for 26. Now he's out for the year. So, and Bloss hasn't even, from what I read, he's nowhere close to the majors with Toronto of all teams.
I think he made 1 start for them. That's it. And then went directly back down. It was just due to injury. They had to bring him up.
So, that's what you got to think too. Is these guys, I love Shea Whitcomb too. I mean, but at the end of the day, there's a reason why I haven't seen him in 5 games. Because he's not going to get the playing time over, he's not going to get the playing time over any of the infielders. Right now he has no reason to play over Singleton. And they finally wisened up to just, hey, if you need somebody to play first base, stick Caratini there or stick
Diaz
there. Stop doing all this moving everybody to play first base in AAA. Because I guarantee you that's the reason why DeZenzo got called up. That's the reason why Whitcomb got called up. And, I don't think DeZenzo was ready. I think they rushed DeZenzo.
Yeah, I would agree.
But, you hadn't, like you said, they were trying to find anybody that could play first base that could be productive.
Well, they could have taken a flyer on old Craig's son. He plays first base.
Oh God, he's already signed.
I know, but he's been DFA'd twice.
They also could have taken a flyer back on Yuli when he was available to every single team and in the minors hitting .317.
Yeah, but what they decided is they go the cheap route and call up these minor leaguers, and now 2 of the 3 of them they called up are back in Sugarland.
I actually am kind of surprised that they didn't go back after Yuli. Goddamn, you brought a Ledmus Diaz back.
Yeah, he didn't even do anything. He had 3 at bats, and then they released him.
I'm surprised that they didn't go after Yuli, or at least, maybe they
give
did.
Him
maybe
a
they
3
tried.
at bat shot at least.
Maybe they did try to go, and the Royals came in with something better. I don't know.
From the way I understood that worked out is, we put in our waiver claim for him, and the Royals had a higher waiver claim spot, so they got him before we could.
Yeah, because they had that first baseman that got hurt, was out for the year.
Yeah, that happened on the series against us.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
well, it doesn't matter now, right? It is what it is, but yeah, let's go back to Leon. So 20 ABs, 2 hits.
So
and I think one of them was his first hit. I think he got thrown out at second trying to turn a single into a double. Loperfido, 50 hits. He's hitting .223.
Yeah, so his batting average went down 20 points since he got traded to Toronto.
But it's still with the Kikuchi trade. With the Kikuchi trade, it still really is too early to know who's going to win or not in this trade.
It is
right because at the beginning, at the beginning, the Blue Jays won because Loperfido was doing shit and Wagner was doing shit, and you didn't. Hell, I was saying it. We don't know this Kikuchi guy, and what the hell is he going to do? And all he's done is just go out and dominate for him. Dominate.
We've won every single game that he's started.
Every one of his freaking starters.
Every single one. But think about this. When he played for Toronto, and I'm not talking about just this season. I'm talking about last season too. He was a number 4 or 5 starter. 4 at best. He was always that 500 guy. His ERA was hovering right around 4.25, somewhere around there. He just didn't seem like the dude that's we got that. We got our guy. That's the one we wanted. And it felt like we gave up a lot at the time. PK, you and I are the ones that were on the forefront of that fight. But, now right now, you know what I want to do? I want to re-sign this guy in the offseason. I want to
Man,
see him
it's
in
funny.
the rotation next year because
It's
he's
funny that you
awesome
say that.
for us.
I honestly was just thinking that. Like, I mean, look, sign his ass 2-3 year
Yeah.
deal and bring his ass
Absolutely.
back. You know,
Yeah,
He's
and
comfortable
Bryles,
here. He's
we were
pitching well.
talking about that offline. I'm like, man, I wouldn't absolutely be upset if after this season we didn't bring back JV and use that money to bring back Kikuchi. I wouldn't be
Yeah,
upset about that.
that
You
is
know, I
money
mean,
well spent.
but it
Yeah,
also
you're
goes, it all ties back into, guys like, Will Wagner, Loperfido, as much as, everybody here in Houston loved Loperfido. At the end of the day, they were just guys. They weren't top ranked prospects that we gave up. I mean, it's not like, you know, we gave up our, MLB, number 9, number 12, and number, 26 for Kikuchi. These are guys that would be, you know, towards the bottom half of the top 30 of each team's prospects. I mean, but at the end of the day, we got with Kikuchi what we needed and shit for right now. And if it works out for Toronto, Blas comes out to be a pretty decent pitcher, then they got someone for their future. So I'm okay with the trade. I've always been okay with the trade. So
well, look, I ran out of crow. Me and Bryles ran out of crow. So now I'm on the you say bandwagon.
there you go.
Hell yeah. It's been run through my head all night.
I
And
know.
the good thing is,
it's actually like it's brilliant what the Astros did with that.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
Like the first time I heard it, I was like, "Oh shit, that's pretty good." And then Chris,
and
who sings that song? Chris?
I think it's Lisa Loeb.
Yeah,
Yep,
you don't think you know? It's your favorite album.
It is. It was probably one of the. I think it was a one-hit wonder.
Could have fooled me. I mean,
yeah. But like I said, I was. No, I don't have her poster in my office.
It's underneath the Astros banner.
Yeah, I mean, I was worried though because once y'all were talking about, all right, we're jumping on the Kikuchi. I'm like, oh fuck, here we go. He's gonna get.
Oh, you thought we were going to curse it?
Yeah, I was like,
oh, thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Stay away.
But that's why every week that we came on, we just said, hey, we're eating a little bit more crow, and now like it's gone. So now we're in it. We're on it.
Yeah, I mean, so
PK and I were like a crock pot, slowly warming up, man.
Slowly warming up, baby.
There you go. Well, let's shift focus over to we got the Angel series and we've got the Mariner series coming up.
The Mariners.
Massive series, unless they can find a way to blow these 3 games against the Rangers and we can win at least the next 2 or 3 against the Angels. In that case, if it goes that way, then this series against the Mariners really means nothing. So we
got some pitching lined up.
That's what I had
it pulled up.
Unbelievable. Unprepared.
When are we ever prepared to do this?
That's the real question. I mean, I can start a little bit on this. I know we've got a series obviously with them this weekend, and we've all said, especially UPK, it's like we end up playing down to some of these guys that we end up facing at home. So right now, I mean, we're facing the Angels. They've got nothing to play for. They've got a bunch of dudes that don't care if they win or lose. They're just out there to play baseball. That's all it is. They're out there to play baseball and collect a check. And what are we doing? I mean, we barely scratched out a game tonight. It took forever to get there, so I'm a little scared of what we got moving forward. Now, I know our guys are motivated, but our bats are cold, so I'm concerned about what we're going to be doing this weekend. I'm not going to go ahead and make my prediction or anything like this very moment, but at the same time, that's just the 2 cents I wanted to put in.
I think the bats are going to warm up. I do.
I hope you're right.
So so the rest of this series, I think we have JV, Blanco, and Arrighetti going the rest of the Angels series. So that should line up Fromber, Hunter Brown, and probably Kikuchi the 3rd game against the Mariners, I think.
So JV, Blanco, Arrighetti is remaining?
Yep. They're going to go the next 3 games against the Angels, and then you should have
Brown, Fromber.
Brown, Fromber, and probably Kikuchi going against the 3 against Seattle.
Well, I'll take that. I'll take that all day.
Fuck yeah. Absolutely. So, you know what? I will jump in and lead us off on the predictions. I'm going to say so Seattle is 5 games behind us. So I'm going to say we're going to win 2 of 3 against the Angels. And I'm going to go ahead and say the Rangers take 2 of 3 against Seattle, which is going to put us at a 7-game. I'm going to say that by Sunday, we're celebrating the division championship. Or was it Monday? Because you got
It'd be Tuesday.
Sunday. I'm gonna for my ultimate tiebreaker, I'm gonna say we're celebrating a Clinch division Sunday night.
Whew.
So we'll finish the series 3-1 against the Angels. The Mariners will shit the bed against the Rangers, get eliminated, and then at that point the Mariners will take 2 of 3 against us.
So you're saying Mariners are coming into town with nothing to play for?
Exactly.
Woo-wee. That's a bold prediction, my man. That's a bold prediction, Cotton.
Yeah. That's what I'm going to say. Seattle's just not playing good ball. And, I mean...
No, you're right.
I think regardless, I think we take 2 of the next 3 against the Angels. And then if that game on Monday means something against Seattle, then I might. But as of right now, I'm going with my bold prediction. Sunday night, we're doing the old school 1980s at the end of a movie, jumping high five as it pauses, and then the credits roll. Division champions. Sunday night. Yeah. Over the hill. Because there's always a street on a hill. So you can see the sunset in the background. And then with that same, I'll say at that point, nobody gives a shit, so we'll drop 2 of 3 to Seattle. But that series won't matter.
So 4. Wow, how does my math do that?
It's going to be 3-3. No.
He's not including tonight because we already had scored.
It's 3-3 excluding tonight.
Yeah. But like I said, after this weekend, my bold prediction is we celebrate a division championship.
Okay. All right. What do you got, Bryles?
This is a hard one to predict. And the reason I say that is almost all these series at the end of the season are hard to predict for a number of reasons. The biggest reason for me, though, is the fact that we have no idea what these lineups are going to look like. So who's going to get some rest? Who's that one starter that we were expecting to start, like an Arrighetti or something like that all of a sudden it's like, hey, you know what? Let's do a bullpen day, give him a day of rest, and then we'll jump him back in the rotation later on like that. You know, JV
doesn't want rest them until you raise the banner. That's what I say.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like we don't know if that's going to happen or not. So if we're just talking about trying to make a prediction for wins, losses on the next 6 games, that's a little tough. Chris, I do like the way you're going with that. Now, I'm not quite as optimistic as you are. I don't think that we're raising the banner on Sunday night, which
Shocker.
Don't get me wrong.
Shocker, Bryles.
Hey, listen.
If Chris would win the division tomorrow night, he'd pick it tomorrow night.
Hey,
I love the guy, but he is such a homer. I love the guy, but he's a homer.
Hey, I'm just ready to get this intense. Like I'm ready to be done watching what fucking Seattle's doing. Wrap it up this weekend.
Right.
So
I don't think it's going to go to
anxiety and
yes. Bring
medicine.
on the heart attack, the stroke. Bring that on.
Okay.
So here's the problem I have with your prediction on that is the fact that Seattle's going into South Oklahoma to go play the Rangers, and what are the Rangers playing for?
To knock Seattle out?
Just to piss everybody off.
Yeah, to knock Seattle out?
I don't think they care. That's the whole point I'm making. It's like, I honestly, I think they're going to lay an egg. So I think we're going to have meaningful games coming up here with Seattle. I think we're going to end up winning the division possibly on Tuesday. That's what I'm really hoping for, because I don't want to go into that Wednesday day game afterwards and then look at it after that and say, hey, look, we really got to win this game on Wednesday. So that's my prediction on that. I think we do end up probably taking 2 of the next 3 from the Angels. I think we're going to probably have a game where we just lay an egg for whatever reason, because I want to be optimistic about the Bats, but I have no proof that they're coming back to life anytime soon. And the minute I say that, of course, tomorrow we're going to score like 14, right?
That's what I'm talking about, Bryles, right there.
It's every time I say something, like it's like, oh yeah, they're not going to score or anything. It's like boom, then all of a sudden the offense like takes off. So anyway, I think we lose 1 against the Angels, so we go 3-1 all together in that series. And then after that, I say we take at least 2 out of 3 against the Mariners. So I'm going same thing I did last week. We're going 4 for 2. We take the division, we go in, and then I think we end up playing the Tigers in the wild card spot.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll still have an episode before the playoffs start. I think we'll have an episode because I think they're off on Thursday. So
correct.
So
then they play the Indians Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
That's correct.
So,
that finishes the season.
And then that finishes the season.
And then playoffs will probably start on Tuesday or Wednesday of that week.
Well, like I said, the difference is that we're actually going to be playing in the wild card series.
Right. So we're probably playing on Tuesday or Wednesday.
I mean, unless something insane happens, we're definitely playing the wild card series. I don't see us getting a bye. I mean,
the Yankees already clinched, so they can lay an egg the rest of the season. Maybe we can catch them.
Look, you'd have to sweep Cleveland, and then they'd have to help us between now and that series.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, crazier things happen.
I don't either. You're right, but it could, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm anticipating us playing the first series. First round.
Yeah. So am I.
Okay, so here's what I have. PK? So, I feel like I'm copying Bryles, but I'm essentially copying Bryles on the prediction. Right, 2-1, 2-1. But for division clinching sake, I will have it over on Monday. So we have Sunday for Chris, Monday for me, Tuesday for Bryles. Because Tuesday was Monday was always the goal. Tuesday was my first choice. Because I'm like, I don't want Wednesday. I don't want to be pressing in the Seattle series to close out the division on a Wednesday afternoon or a Wednesday game, right? Because now you can't. You can control what happens, obviously, right? But you can put them away because you're picking up a game, playing them head to head.
Yeah.
So, but you got to think about what's going on before that. It's like the Rangers could care less what's going on, and the Mariners are playing for their lives.
And so, if you look at it that way, if the Rangers what's the biggest thing that they could what's the biggest thing they can do to screw Houston? Well, it's to lay an egg and let the Mariners sweep them. That's the biggest way to screw Houston if you're the Rangers.
Yeah, right? I mean, so that Seattle has the Rangers, and then they come to Houston, and then they have Oakland to wrap up the season. So they're having a nice little tour of the AL West before hopefully they're exited out. I mean,
yeah, I like I said, two out of 3 the remainder of the Angels. 2 out of 3 of the Mariners clinch Monday night. But I really like the Brown Frommer Kikuchi layout for Seattle. That's
solid.
It's filthy. Come get it. Come beat us.
Yeah.
You want it, come get it.
But I'm sure they're going to probably throw Logan Gilbert.
Yeah.
Which we've had one game where he's dominated us. We've had another game where we've hit him pretty well.
Yeah.
I mean, but I'm hoping that it doesn't even fucking matter who they throw. They could throw Edgar Martinez out there for all I care. I want them to come into Houston all poopy pants because the series means nothing. That's
that'd
my
be
goal.
great. That would be great.
And if I'm the Rangers, I'm being an asshole, and my goal is to eliminate the Mariners.
Well, you don't have to pretend like they're assholes. They are.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, I would be, and I'd be like, fuck Seattle. If we can eliminate them, let's eliminate them. You know, we don't have a chance to eliminate Houston, but if we can eliminate Seattle, let's do it.
No, yeah. Yeah, I get it. It's going to be fun, man. We've waited all freaking season for this,
Yeah.
for this. Like, here we get to the real shit. The real season's about to start.
Yeah.
And it starts with that Mariners series and putting their asses away so that you can focus on what's really going to happen come a week after that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
So,
dude, I'm getting excited. I'm ready for the playoff mustache, man. I gotta drop this, put the playoff mustache on, just like I did last year.
If I could grow a mustache, I would, but like,
I don't know if I can convince everybody.
It's
let me do a playoff mustache.
I did one before, and then people actually let me out in public with it, and I saw pictures of it later, and yeah, I couldn't believe that my family let me out in public with what I thought was a mustache. So, so now that's why I have the Amish beard. But I'm going to go see our boy tomorrow at noon. So Jose's going to get it.
Oh, that's why it was a pain in the ass for me to get a fucking deal with him. I have to go see my niece.
Trying to get appointments.
Free haircut. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, so I guess we're coming up on next episode is going to be the last episode of the regular season. Pretty surprised that we did not get canceled during this entire season. But now, I think that all three of us have done a fantastic job of not being Mr. Overreactor. That shit's going to fucking disappear come the playoffs.
Oh, this is going to be terrible.
It's going to be Altuve went 0 for 4. Fucking cut him. It's going to be
throwing hats down, stomping around.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. So, so we're going to need to decide during the playoffs. Are we going to try to get on?
We have to. I think we have to.
I don't think we can wait a week. We're going to have to start at the bare minimum, if we could try to get some combination of us three, the goal would be every night, every game.
That's a lot, though.
It's going to be a lot, though, because especially with the season, the postseason probably start Monday or Tuesday. Then especially
I know.
Especially with all three games are going to be.
But hang on, you don't even have time to do it every night. You're at fucking baseball at the baseball field 4 out of 5 nights.
Listen, we might have to miss a practice.
You're not
if there's a playoff game on, we might have to miss a practice.
No, you're not. Y'all gonna have a TV in the dugout.
That's true. I will have a TV, and they're gonna be like, "Hey, coach, what'd you think?" I'm like, "Man, I'm not even paying attention to this. It's the bottom of the second."
Yeah.
Liam, you're up to bat. Go ahead. Go.
Yeah. You with the bat. You're up.
I think we need to go live on one of the games.
Well,
I think that'd be awesome.
Maybe. I think if we can get a divisional game, preferably on a. I think fuck it. Let's just go live, and then, be remote the next day.
I'm good with it.
So,
and just to answer a question, why I don't have an Astros jersey on? Well, because football season just started, and although it's still baseball season, and although baseball still holds a very special place in my heart, it is football season, and we're going to represent. So it will be between Longhorn gear and Astros gear, and that's just how it's going to be.
You can throw the laughs in there all you want, but as a Texas X member, trust me, I'm right there with you, man. Yeah. So don't even worry about it.
Oh, I'm not.
Don't worry. I will be representing
Maryland.
Baseball. Maybe a little bit of Maryland too. All day, every podcast, I'll have something Astros or Astros related on.
I wear the hat every freaking time. So
you did. You represented the hat. But yeah, you hit the nail on the head. It's like, what are you talking about when baseball's over? Baseball's fucking never over. It's never over.
So
when it's
did you see
over,
that?
it's the hot stove.
Well,
Exactly.
that's what I told the kid today. I told the kid today in that group chat, like, look, when season ends, it's cool. It's still on because it's off season time. So
Yeah.
Then it's winter
Never
meetings. Then it's hot
They got the
stove.
winter
Then
meetings.
it's
Yeah, never
spring
stops.
training. It's like, yeah, it
Never
never
stops.
all
stops.
over again.
never stops. Never stops. So, but no, I'm good with the playoff thing. We should definitely do one for sure. Let's see what happens. It's gonna be interesting. We might have to get some bleeps.
No, man. If it's live, we got to go raw. We got to go raw. I mean,
the fact that you know that Dubon had a baby shower yesterday is insane.
I didn't know that. Is that where he got the gold belt?
Probably. Maybe he won the prize.
you just kidding me.
Kamate way, kamate. Kamate dulces.
Tranquilo.
Yeah, I mean, so we're probably looking at probably doing a live session. See?
Hey, he did.
But yeah, we're definitely gonna probably try to pop in as much as we can during the playoffs. And oh yeah, you're gonna see
It'd be fun. It's gonna be
some
fun.
stressed out people.
Yeah.
You know. So but again, thanks for everybody for listening. Again, you can find us on Facebook. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on not on TikTok, on Twitter as well. Again, we're at
And on
where else are we on? Oh, the X
It's
Twitter.
the same thing.
Same shit, man. We are slowly climbing on Facebook to 200 followers. So for everybody that's followed, thank you. So I think that's going to do for tonight. You guys have anything?
No. Until next time. Talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good one.
See you soon.
Have a good weekend.